The unfunded promises. We have Grandpa's Viagra and Grandma's hip replacement to pay for. We just raised the debt ceiling to $14.3 trillion, new debt, plus off the books $6.3 trillion for everybody's house. Filling in the hole, adding to these numbers, makes our bankers, the people who are loaning us all this money, freak out. They're like, okay, guys, are you going to invent something here? You got anything on the horizon? America, ask yourself, what do we have on the horizon? Oh, yeah, that's right. Solar panels. Aha. If this doesn't turn around as projected, and let me ask you, when's the last time you ever heard anybody in Washington predict anything with the economy accurately? If it doesn't turn around, we're left with a banana republic. And I'm not talking about the one with $175 jeans, a third world nation. We're talking about Zimbabwe or the Weimar Republic. In this scenario, it leaves us with unpayable debt. You can't pay any of this. Plus, we've destroyed our credibility throughout the world. Our monetary system is over as we know it. No one trusts us anymore. We don't trust our politicians anymore. Because if this happens, we figured out that they lied to us the whole time. They destroyed and took away our children's future and our Constitution. Doesn't sound like a happy place. In fact, it sounds like this. Time bomb number 20, the coming populist revolution bomb. Hello? Look what's happening in Greece. So now here's what I've been recommending. And I know this is extremely ugly. And look, I'm a guy on TV. You got to make the decision. But it's based on the theory that failure is important. My chart goes like this. You don't fill the hole. The economy drives off a cliff. Lots of jobs are lost. I may lose my job. You might lose your job. But it allows the economy to reset. We learn from our mistakes. We purge the system. We do it all the time with our computers. How is this not common sense? Okay, you're on your computer and you're figuring stuff out and you see the computer starting to run slowly or that it freezes up. What do? You reboot the system. If you don't, it crashes. Then you might lose everything. What I'm saying is, save the data. Save your money, save your family. Prepare yourself. Turn it off. Let it crash, and we'll reboot. I believe in the American system. I believe in the entrepreneur. Things are going to get ugly for a while, but we'll help each other. Not because the government tells us to, but because we're neighbors. We'll save our future in the end. Let me go back to the story in 1920, because you say, oh, that's crazy. Oh, they're going to print it. That's crazy. It'll never work. Glenn Beck is mad. 1920, the unknown depression. Remember I told you about the Roaring '20s yesterday or the day before? This one wasn't a Great Depression, but it was just as bad as 1930. You don't know about it because we pulled out of it quickly. In 1921, our goods and services lost half of their value. By comparison, the loss of our housing value in the last year has been 18%. 1920? Hello? Our GNP fell 24% in 1 year, 1920 to 1921. Our unemployment rate back then was 11.9, higher than it is now, far worse than today. And in 2009, real GDP only decreased 2.4. Got it? 2.4. Hello? In some cases, 1920 was worse than the Great Depression in the 1930s. But what happened? Harding, because America learned its lesson, progressives, that was a nightmare, they cut spending in half. Spending in half. By 1923, they cut taxes. Remember I told you yesterday, top rate was what, 73%? Cut it to 25%. The result, stock market tripled. Real wages increased 20%. Got it? Everybody's wages, your wage increase was 20%. A dramatic expansion of the middle class. By 1926, and this is my favorite stat, because I've never seen it before. Only time it's ever happened in peacetime. Our unemployment rate went from here. You ready? 1.8%. Never happened in the history of America outside of war. My point is, reboot the system. Trust the American people. Trust freedom. Trust who we've been. We changed the world. We invented almost every damn thing in the world. It works. Trust yourself. Trust the divinely inspired system that was given to us by our founders and then destroyed piece by piece by piece by the lies of the progressive movement. It works. Check it out. 1920, the Depression you never heard of. By the way, I saw a picture on the cover of the Wall Street Journal this morning, and I think it says it all. It's a photo of a cleaned-out supermarket in Northern Virginia. Look at that. I saw that, and I thought it was Russia. People freaking out about the snow in wintertime. If that's what happens when it snows in America, what happens if any of these things happen in America? How do you prepare? How do you survive if your whole world changes? Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Back in a second. Snow in the winter on the East Coast. Everybody is freaking out. Who would have seen it coming? There is a cover of the Wall Street Journal today, photo of a cleaned-out supermarket in Northern Virginia. Wow. Wow. I warned you, I'm afraid something might be a little worse that's coming than a little bit of snow, like economic collapse. Are you prepared? By the way, anything that I say today, anything, I get it wrong, White House, call me. I know maybe in Los Angeles, and I know this phone doesn't have a cord, but can we show the New York studio, please? She's just watching this. She's watching the snow. If the phone rings, we're there, and they'll patch her right through. So White House, if we get it wrong, you can call. We have Ben Sherwood here. He's the author of The Survivors Club. I have Ben on. Hi, Ben. How are you? Glad. Have we ever met in person before?
Never in person.
Yeah, I didn't think so. This book, when it was sent to me, I don't know how long ago. When did this come out? About a year ago, year and a half ago?
A year ago.
And it came out right as the plane landed in the Hudson.
Flight 1549, the week before.
And so I saw this Survivors Club, like, I don't want to read that. And then that happened, and I had you on, and I have to tell you, your book changed the way I look at everything. Explain why. Can you?
I would never be so bold to tell you why.
Well, we've talked about it before.
I think that the book looks at the world's most effective survivors and thrivers and identifies why some people, when the worst happens, deal the best, why they can cope, why they can overcome. And it identifies the qualities that you need when everything falls apart.
Okay. Look, America, I have to tell you, I know what, I read the blogs. I know what people say about me. That's fine. I don't really care. They're wrong. I don't want to come to you. The blogs say, oh, he's just an entertainer. They're right. I'm an entertainer. That's what I've always done. September 11th made me go, wait a minute, maybe I should pay attention. Maybe I should learn something. I didn't know a jack about American history until recently. I've changed my life because I think this is important, and I think we should prepare. I don't want to be the doom and gloom guy every day, but those who prepare actually survive. They're the ones, explain, if I'm dangerous because I'm telling people what could possibly happen, why do we tell people what could possibly happen on an airplane?
Well, if you talk to the world's most effective survivors and thrivers, people who have survived plane crashes, people who have survived cancer, people who have survived foreclosure, firings at factories, these people have situational awareness. That's what the military calls it. They are aware of the situation that they're in, and when the worst happens, they perceive accurately the threat that they face, and they have a plan A and a plan B to deal with it. So when you say on an airplane, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to fly from New York to North Carolina, and you may need to get off this plane in a hurry because there is a possibility that when we're flying we could hit a flock of geese. How are you going to get off the plane? What are you going to do in an emergency? That's not irresponsible. That's responsible.
And there's a reason why they say, and the exits, and they use their body, are located here, here, and here, and please look at the closest exit now, right? They say that every time.